Hi everyone, just trying to share. Um, mm, Sorry, just a minute. I'm trying to just trying to see how I can share. So I'm gonna put here. Maybe Alice can share. So it's showing finally. So it's showing. Last one, just one for the group, because it's our Art Completes You virtual event. So I am finding our Art Completes You group. Posting there. Okay, so let me start. I welcome whoever is going to watch that video and whatever the time when you are going to watch it. So what are we going to learn or experience today? We will understand what exactly Vedic art therapy is and how we can use it effectively to manifest or just do some better things for ourselves. We will practice on the relationship topic. So you can also, not just the theory, but also the has some practical aspect to it. So who am I? I am an author of Art Completes You book and method. And this book has a blueprint of how you can become an excellent artist and just a much happier human being. I am bringing, I am bringing 30 plus years of teaching, coaching experience, all my spiritual breakthroughs, aha moments, really outstanding education. So that journey of yours, I can actually help you make it easier and faster. I feel also very strongly that I bring a lot of quality to the education like that. And having said that, I have to remind that I cannot call myself as an author of this art completes you method. I have to, again, I've compiled the materials, of course. I looked at them from the standpoint what works. I tested them, but I just have to bow down again and again to the Vedic tradition, to Sanatana Hindu Dharma, for enriching my life with this vast and rich knowledge. And I am honored, I was honored and blessed to discover it, and definitely feel the same way that I'm sharing it with you. So quickly, let's review what we learned yesterday. If you have not watched the video one, introduction into the Art Completes You method, please do so. But just quick review about what we learned yesterday was, let me put this aside. We learned about fundamentals for excellent art creation, for opening up the creative flow, and we did this exercise, the line practice. So several things that I want to review and remind. Number one, it is truly, as simple as it is, the best art practice that you can do. Why? Because it right away you overcome very typical mistakes that the beginner artist can do. First being not realizing what space you are using. So sometimes you will see like things people are trying to draw, they will be like tiny objects in the middle of the paper. They don't feel the whole area. So just by doing that, understanding your space will fix the compositional mistakes. Now, composition is a more complex, one of art fundamentals concept, that one of the aspects is how you place things on paper. So you are working on that, just doing the line. You are creating that knowledge about composition as well. Next one is the flow of the different types of lines. Now, this too deserves like a special look into that, because the kind of line that you are using to express the idea or the feeling, you will use a different line. And in the beginning, we're not necessarily aware of that. So here, because the format is stress-free and relaxing, you are learning all sorts of different types of lines. We will do later on the types of strokes that you can use for which ideas, how do they correspond with our emotions. But for now, just have in mind that that aspect is also covered when you do your line practice. And the major and most important point, you are kind of take responsibility for generating creative ideas at your will. So you are no longer at the space of, oh, I don't know how they come. Oh, I'm not sure how to start a painting, or I do not know how to start approaching. Let's say you put a goal and you're creating your marketing plan, and I am not sure how to do it. you take responsibility for that, because this creative practice will work on all aspects of creativity. And as we talked about yesterday, creativity is not just making art or objects or art-like objects. Creativity is the flow of life, is your health. It affects so many things. So finishing up that, please do this practice for at least 21 days. And the length of the practice is completely up to you. There are really no restrictions. The reason why I asked to start with 21 minutes was because we are so in a rush with everything, and we want to be very efficient, and we want these awesome results fast. So sometimes we do not give ourselves enough time for a breakthrough to happen. So look also at time when you are here with me, when you start doing your own practice, and shift that concept of having immediately everything right away. That journey, the art completes you, here we go back, method and all the classes, they are going to make your art or your relationships or whatever you're working on with the help of art better right away. But it is an authentic process. So your quality of art is going to grow. So try to shift from the constantly judgmental state of you to assessment. See where you are and where you are going. So to give you an example, you might discover that you are fascinated with human faces. You are fascinated, or let's say it's landscape, so that would be trees. After you understand that you are really drawn, we will do special exercises to understand where your interest is. But once you understand that I am truly is attracted to humans, I am truly is fascinated with nature or with water or with divine subjects. After you discover that, you have at that point, you have two roads to go. One is, oh, but I cannot do that. I do not have a right training. I am so bad at drawing people. Whatever nonsense you are saying to yourself, the judgmental nonsense, thinking that whatever you know now, that's what you're supposed to know till you die. That's one approach. Another approach is, I am absolutely fascinated with how our body is, with how our eyes work. So I am going to look into that and see how I can upgrade my skill so I can actually paint what I want to. Because with art, there is no age limit. None. You just have to repeat it to yourself right now. There is no age limit. You can start very, very early, and if you do, you just have to make sure that your kids do have teachers who are not going to ruin their space. I will do the class for parents, how to actually parent into an outstanding artist. But then any other time of your life, the art is there for you. So you can enjoy, whether creating paintings or using it at what we are doing today as an art therapy tool. So I chose the topic, how to heal your relationship with art, how to find your soulmate with art, because it just was so popular. And my clients were all into that. My students were all into that. Whatever we learn today can be applied to any other areas. I will do the sessions with some people need real estate sales. I actually want to tell you a funny story. So again, in this beautiful book, I think chapter 3 is about creativity and ability to see new possibilities, how to do it. So I have the first testimonial, which is one of my very first students. I think with this method, I think I did it maybe 4 years ago. Doesn't matter. But so she got the book and she practiced these exercises just for herself to become an artist. But then she got curious. We spoke on the phone and I showed her how am I using art to help me with regular things, to better my relationships or have my property sold. So she got really excited because she had one property that her family owned in Florida and it was quite stagnant on the market. She immediately started doing it, and the text that I posted in our Art Completes You group, within 3 days, they had 3 offers and they choose one, and right now it's under the contract. So that's not just very important. That's not because whoever reads this is going to happen. No, it's just because when you do the practice that opens up your creative flow, you get more in sync with the universe. You start attracting new ideas, not only pattern thinking, where most of us live. Okay, if someone yells at me in the morning, my whole day is going to be ruined, right? So there is a beautiful practice of unclutching. I will post the links for you to watch what unclutching is, but it's very much coincides with the art meditation that I was talking in the beginning of that video, was introducing you to you yesterday. And I have the chapter in the book that describes that. And in the book, by the way, I have more than one exercise on that topic. So as you can see, I'm trying to tell you, please buy the book. It's really awesome. Okay, so what is Vedic art therapy and how we're going to use it to create or better our life or improve the relationships where we are? Now, first of all, our world is very visual. And there is a beautiful part about it. It's colorful, it's sometimes nice to look at, sometimes it's painful, but it always generates some kind of emotions in us. And we live in the feeling universe, so it's kind of cool to experience all sorts of things. But visuals can also create a lot of confusion and a lot of delusion. So I will explain confusion and delusion a little more. So if several of us are looking at the same scene or watching the same movie, we all have our own set of filters through which we see the world around. And sometimes they are kind of similar, sometimes they are different. But it's very rare that we are in fact in authentic viewing or in complete awareness. That's why confusion and delusion is possible. So, for example, let's take this example. You can look at the picture, and with all the, we're sharing photos all the time. You can look in the picture, and the picture has a whole bunch of really, really happy family, and smiling and laughing with a big house on that photo. And the words will say that having a house means having a great family, some nonsense like that. Because the visuals of the smiling people are so well done, we start wanting the house as well. So we're not looking at the visual for what it is, an advertising for some product that we might need, might not need. Because surely if you have a very big family, it's nice to have a lot of space for everyone. But having a happy family and having a house, they do not necessarily are connected the way they're connected in this kind of example, right? Like my guru once, I have a guru, Paramahamsa Sri Nityananda, and he gives a lot of wonderful examples about how we get confused with life here in the matrix. So there's always a very beautiful girl sitting on a very expensive car and craving the desire for the girl that is generated in the males looking at the car does not register that the girl does not really come with a car. So when we create visuals, and we are going to do that for our better relationships, we have to understand they are very powerful, number one. So that's why it works. But the second part is they can create confusion even for us. So having clarity and then creating our visuals with that clarity will allow the art to work absolutely wonderfully for you. So the drawing that you will create of your desired soulmate or healed relationship will come true. So I see my friends. Oh, so nice. Hi guys. Thank you for joining me. It means a lot. So how does this method, Art Completes You method, how is it different from traditional art therapy? Now, first of all, in the traditional art therapy, when most of the time you express the pain you feel inside. And the beauty is you can be very creative, so you can use different mediums. You're not restricted to anything. But it's very much like vomiting poison you have inside without healing the stomach. So you do get a temporarily relief from the emotion, but you don't get the healing. So any food that goes into that stomach or any situation is going to trigger the same exact reaction. So you can be painting your pain forever, and you're only going to be deeper in that pain, because visuals, what? They are very powerful, and they are created without clarity on how we can use that power to our advantage. Who wants to keep expressing pain unless you are in deep self-doubt, in deep self-hatred? So another way they can use in the traditional art therapy is paint a good, nice picture. It's better than the first option, but it feels inside as if you are making stuff up. So it's nicer, the feeling is better, your energy is better, but the solid feeling, I am the creator, that's what I am doing, is not happening. So that's why I think it's not working. And the third one is, I also noticed there are a lot of people who love analyzing the drawings. And sometimes it's just, I don't know how to find really nice words for it, but sometimes when I listen to people who describe whatever they see and give advice and remedy based on what they see in these art therapy sessions, it's just beyond like nonsense. Because these drawings, people who are experiencing suffering, most of this suffering comes from illogical cognitions that we developed sometime in the past that affects our present. So they are not really true in most cases. So when we analyze them, we kind of give them validation in life. So instead of just clearing all of it, for example, you created one painting to show what exactly you're feeling inside. You're looking at this mess and this dark colors. If you're depressed, you would go for a lot of dark colors and you just throw everything in, and then you look at it and you say, okay, so that's where I am now. But the solution will not be in this painting or in just stepping into this deep delusion suffering zone. We live in, look at this, we live in the amazing, despite of all this, what's going on with controversy around Facebook, but we live in the world when anyone can become a broadcaster. I mean, look at me, I am doing that. And you are now listening to me, maybe not now, maybe someone will be listening later. So if you see what is going on, it's your responsibility to say, hold on a second, yes, this is like that right now. Let me find the solution. Let me find the way out. And once you shift that perspective, you're going to find. And here, I can tell you, we are going to have multiple ways of clearing your life out of all this nonsense with the help of art. I actually invented this Vedic art therapy term, and I still don't like it very much. It probably should be art completes you breakthrough versus therapy. Anyway, so the version of art therapy that I want to share with you, teach you, and help you to experience is about creating new life from the powerful space that carries no self-doubt. If it sounds too good to be true, it's not. It's just the truth. When you heal your inner space, the life you create as a result of that in our case today, relationships that you attract are going to be only that, powerful and blossoming. So now going back to some specifics about creating what we want. So how can people create anything in life? What do we need? We usually need a vision. We need a plan that will be kind of connected to the vision. We need to look at our skills and see if we need to upgrade our skills. We need to sometimes change our environment so we can support the vision we created. And the fifth one is we have to master our psychology. We have to be in charge of our ups and downs, preferably so they are out of our life. So when you see, I don't know how to do it, so you see the idea, I do not know how to do it, how I can learn it, versus, OMG, I have never done it, I'm not going to do it. Okay, and find a way that works for your psychology to convince yourself. I gave yesterday the example, for me, even today, going in front of the camera and talking without having the feedback from my students, because usually I teach live when people are around me and I can see their response and I understand what's going on. For me, it was a stress. So I was thinking, how can I make it happen? Because if I only teach small groups, I'm not going to reach out to everywhere where I want to reach out. Oh, by the way, please be so kind and share this with your friends. That would mean a lot to me. So I looked at it and I understood that if I take the idea that I have to be perfect in the way I speak, in the way I look, in the way my setup is, I have to do the best, clearly. And I have to do what I can. But it's not about being perfect. It's about you. I have to create it for you. That was enough for me to shift from me, I am afraid, to, yeah, I'm doing that. And my nervousness and anxiety and feeling that will I speak with clarity? It all just left my system because you are the priority for me. So there is something in your psychology that can do the same trick for you in whatever you are doing. So we spoke about these 5 things that are important. And the first one is the vision. So we are going to work on that today in connection with relationships, whether it is your relationship with your existent husband or wife, or your partner, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or your friends, or your children, or your parents. We can include your co-workers as well. So it's up to any type of relationship. How do we create a vision for that? You would need to spend time and write down. I'm going to go for the romantic relationship because most of requests I received were about how to find a soulmate. So I'm going to start with that. So the first thing is to understand what you are looking for. And here, I mean, a lot of people in the coaching, dating coaches, they give all this advice, create the list. Create the list so you know you check boxes, what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work. It's a great idea. And it's a great start. However, you cannot stop there. Let's say we wrote in the check boxes that we wrote, we want our, okay, I'm a woman, so I'm gonna talk about the man. And let's imagine I want to have a perfect romantic partner. So if I write that I want him to be wealthy, successful, I want to understand at every point like that, he has to be tall, successful, he has to be, I don't know, love, travel, whatever. I have to look at every point I wrote after creating the initial list with the idea, am I creating this in him because I am trying to compensate what I feel I cannot accomplish? The easy example would be, okay, I want him to be wealthy. I want him to be rich. Is it because you are hoping to resolve financial struggle with the help of a man, or you need to find a partner who has similar habits to you, who is accustomed to the lifestyle you prefer? Do you see how these two questions, they shift? It might be the same thing that you wrote, but it will create a different feeling inside. In one way, you're going to be coming from the self-respect, self-love, from the powerful space. In another, you feel you are lacking something, so you are trying to grab something from another person. I actually did the funny drawing right before the class to illustrate. Let me see if you, I don't know if you can you see it? No, like that. So I have two sons. I'm going to, we are, in my world, we are sons of our own universes, right? We shine, we emanate energy, warmth, and we create everything around us. So I got two of these here. One is a really, really sad one. Thinks that she is lacking something. So thinks that if she grabs something from the outside, then she will feel fulfilled. And another one is all smiley, generating energy, understanding that I am what I am, and I am awesome, and we do need to do some work to get into that space. But everyone wants a piece of that. You have zero effort. You don't even need to stretch these arms and try to grab anything, because people will come and will support you because of how much you are giving out, whether it's your warmth, whether it's your helping others, whether it's just the space you carry. You met these people, it's just nice to be around them. So these kind of people, when they start from themselves smiling, they can get way more of whatever this person is dreaming about without much effort. So there is another thing, how you look at the points that you are writing for your soulmate. Where does your vision come from again? Sometimes we think that, I will give you an example with the weight loss. So Quite often people, if they're asked, how much weight would you like to lose? And people will say, well, like 10, 15 pounds. Yeah, that's okay. And if you talk, that would be great, right? If you talk a little more to this person, you will discover that their ideal weight might be 40 pounds less. We do not go for our real vision because of our deep self-doubt and self-hatred. So what do we need to do? We need to upgrade that vision for our soulmate that we have. He has to be what we are. If you like to travel, you should not be settling because I think it's impossible to travel with the person, so I'm gonna just whatever. Let's take that off the list. So when you create for your soulmate, you create a list of qualities. You think in terms of analyzing it. You ask yourself two types of questions. Is it my biggest vision? And am I trying to grab something because I think I am lacking? And what do you do now with these two? Anything that shows you that you are limiting your vision or you are trying to grab something because you are lacking needs our fifth point, mastering your psychology, or needs skill upgrade, or needs clearing your environment so you can actually get to where you want to be with this relationship. Now, for those of you who already have relationship, whether it's marital relationship, partners, you need to heal your relationship with friends, doesn't matter. You do the same exact thing. You write out the perfect idea, the big vision for that relationship and analyze it from these two viewpoints, right? Is it my biggest vision or I'm limiting it because of some self-doubt? And if I want my partner, my husband or wife, or my soulmate or my friend to have this particular quality, does it come from the fact that I don't have it? So once you create the vision that's cleared out of all that and created the skill sets that maybe you need to discover, you also are going to, wait, I wanted to mention one thing. Of course, write. Don't just think, write. Write everything when you are analyzing your relationship. You just write how you feel. Once you do this work, do the second part of this work. So the first one we described when you are figuring out the qualities that you want. Now we go to the second part, which is really, really important. Well, not that the first one was not important. At everything that you wrote about, you have to look and see how you can turn it to be about you. Because in reality, the only thing we can sincerely influence and sincerely create for the benefit of the world and us are things that are grounded in us. So let's say you wrote the sentence, I want my brother to start talking with me after 3 years of not talking to me. If you put this kind of sentence in, the idea is you are trying to make someone else do something for you. So instead of that, rewrite it to, I am enjoying warm, nice relationship with my brother. Do you see the difference? In one way you are saying, one way of saying is, I want him, her, whatever, do this for me. In another way you are saying, sorry guys, another way you are saying, I am enjoying this and this type of relationship with that person. Really, really important. Okay, so now, for your homework with this kind of work, with whatever relationships you are doing, do this first, right? You do the writing first. Create the list, ask the questions, rewrite the list. Now from the next one would be you writing something that you need to upgrade your skills. You might write, for example, if you have issues with dating and you don't get many dates, maybe it's something communication, or you don't know how to speak to new people, or you notice that you can get dates, but then you go on a date and they're just not interested to continue with you. There's something that you are doing during that meeting with another person that keeps them away from you. So if you identify that and there is the skill upgrade that you need, hint, it's usually listening, then your awareness, just awareness of what you discovered, will help even the next tomorrow's date already. Just because you allowed your mind to register that, something here is not working, I need to learn. And it will help you right away. So now I wanted to do the drawing with you to show you how to, I'm going to put it on the floor, to show you how I myself do it, and I promise that I will show you my own drawings. So let me see. So I have the book, which is called my art breakthrough or art therapy book, and I want to show you some funny things that you can see. So this drawing I did when I myself needed to sell my own property. I just realized that I am constantly getting into my own head about what's possible, what's not possible, how fast things are selling in the area where the property was, what is the season, have I missed the season, whatever. So I decided to create the reality. After I did the work that we described, I decided to create the reality in which all is taken care of. And to me, the colors, I'm looking at the screen, they're a little different, but they were kind of happy and they were easy. I'm gonna just go through the book so you will understand. These things are never going into my paintings. It is only some ideas, some situations that I think need my attention, that I go through, and I create these drawings. Sometimes they are inspired by my clients, if they are working on something and I need to see and come up with some unusual solutions. This light is very blue, so you're not seeing how it's, like, see how blue this light, it's actually all purple, this painting, but it doesn't matter. So for our purposes, I'm gonna go through. So all different ideas that I understand or I am not understanding, I would be drawing, literally, and starting with the line, which will take me to sometimes the solution, sometimes no solution, but it just activates some different, like, different emotions, different pathways, and I start seeing solutions that I have not seen before. So that's why I'm using it. I think I'm almost done. Oh, this one was very interesting. I did this one when I wanted to find something. I lost my tablet. I lost my tablet. I was in India at a program called Mahasada Shivoham, which is absolutely amazing and deserves another session completely to explain what kind of superhuman powers we can get here on the planet. But during that time, we were given tablets, and mine, I don't know where I put it, doesn't matter. And I thought, okay, I want to find it. And instead of thinking where I want to find it, I just drew, and to me, it looked like that. Of course I found it. This is all of those. This one is actually one of my favorite ones. I had a student client who was going through a difficult time with her relationships, and I could see that her awareness was growing so fast. The depth of understanding was growing so fast. So to me, it was like her third eye was opening up. So that's why it is like that. Okay, so I think, I don't know if I need to show them all of them. So, but I work like this will be connected to a work project or a family member or whatever. So we are going to do that drawing right now. In general, why this whole thing works? Because attention is energy. Very important. Attention is energy. So whatever you are creating, whatever you are holding your attention at, is going to heal that or provide the solution. No, of course, I'm not saying attention meaning creating some emotional mess, suffering on the paper and enjoying it. Not like that. Consciously creating and experiencing while you are drawing that vision that we talked about, the vision for your life that is already happening, and absolutely not allowing the doubts and self-hatred to interfere with this process. You do need to write down whatever shows up for you. We'll have a special session which is pure about mastering your psychology, and I have very many tools and many different meditations that you can use to take yourself to that better place. That's all. So I hope you do have your paper. and you do have your pen. So what I would do right now, I would imagine that I feel, for example, that I'm going to use markers. Normally I use pencils because the pencils will allow to create really cool drawings. I will show you in the classes that are about the technique, because you becoming an excellent artist is an absolute side effect of working like that, right? So you can either just work on your art skills, or you can work on your better life skills using art. It's inevitable that you're going to be a good artist. So for my purposes, I am using a marker. I suggest you to be using pencil, okay? So let's take a breath. I'm going to count, so you breathe with me. 1, breathe in full lungs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold your breath for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale all the air. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. So do it on your own while I'm explaining. It's a very, very nice centering and coming to your presence, easy breathing technique. In the meantime, once you are done, you go to the space. I understand you have not created your vision yet. All you have right now inside, that you want a certain relationship be good, like, or created, or you already want to feel something. So we are doing it as a practice, but please do it at home after you do all the steps for the vision creation, okay? So let's imagine I know what I want, and I do. Again, you are using the pencil, I'm using the marker so you can see. Holding the space, I am going to start. Yes. With my line practice. Now, in this kind of practice, it's not a creative practice. So if I see that I want to stand with a shape, I'm not going to limit myself and not go there. If I see the shape, I can absolutely go for it. As right now, guys, you can see that I saw the flower here forming. Can you see? Yeah, I saw the flower here forming. So maybe this one will turn into the flower as well. Okay, maybe this one will turn into the heart. So for our purposes, and because it's more a lecture versus a life like class where I am doing the process with you, I'm going to stop here, but in your process, do not stop. Continue and allow your pencil to go around the paper, and at that moment, hold the feeling of joy. Really hold the feeling of joy that yes, you do own it. You do own your own vision. It's here. That beautiful soulmate that you are creating is coming. And you just met him. And this is awesome, right? So then continue holding that space. I'm going to go, usually for this book of mine, I use pencils. I use the, really, let's not even go into what kind of pencils, who cares? Whatever, there are many good pencils around. I would not necessarily go for watercolors, because every time you touch the medium that you do not know how to work with, it creates frustration, and pencil is something that does not create any frustration, and everyone knows if you sharpen it, you can draw with it. Many pencils right now on the market are in fact mixable. So if I use, let's say, if I add so you literally can use them as a mixing. They can be mixed nowadays. The only thing that's really important for you is to hold the energy of you having the bright, huge vision. I want to bring back my son here. Hold the energy of this. You are that, and your vision is great. And from that space, you do your line. More art fundamentals will help you see more shapes, will help you create better drawings, even for your visions. And I think without that, you kind of, you're very limited. So tomorrow class, I wanted to show you how to start seeing shapes. What is the concept of shape? Because this, so several aspects, right? Line practice, you just continue doing every day, every day, every day. Then you have the way of creating the vision and how you look at your life and what you can do, etc. Today, when I started seeing the shapes, I went for them and I picked these shapes out of whatever I was creating. Maybe I will continue with this one tomorrow, so we can see what we can do with that. For the color right now, we will have a class on the color. Just remember, whatever color you like, that color you should be using. Again, I don't want to, color does deserve a really nice class, a nice relationship with it. So we will definitely learn that also. So to summarize what we learned today, art therapy is not, Vedic art therapy is not the traditional art therapy. It's a way to create, to manifest your desires. It's a tool for that. We do need both. We need fundamentals, we need to know how to draw, so that we do not feel like a little limited. You know, I don't know how to draw, so let me find the explanation for every dot and justify the dots I am making. It's really cool if you can draw what you want. We are not in a rush. We really, really want to improve our life today, right? Today feel better. And that's absolutely okay to do that. But with any skill development, with any desire creation, it's okay to give ourselves some time to learn. There should not be any rush for that. We want to have and make everything fast, and we do need sometimes to slow down for that, because then it really can happen, right? So thank you so much for listening, and thank you for being here, and it means a lot. So I highly, highly suggest that you do buy Art Completes You book. I also want to ask you, please, when you do the exercises, do not be shy to email me with your drawings, and just start a conversation of where you are and what you need. That's kind of the whole purpose is for that. Our group, Facebook group, Art Completes You, that you can find since we're on Facebook here, or if you are not watching it from somewhere other platform, please find our group. We have excellent artists who can help you develop your skill and find maybe a better way with words, to have your vision expressed with more clarity, because it helps. It really, really helps. So please share what I am doing with your friends. The more people I reach, the more people we can help to find a better way, a happier way of living. The more meaningful everything is. Enriching others is life. And in this case, just clicking share button is awesome. So you can email me. Actually, it's artcompletesyou@gmail.com. And message me here too, of course. So that's all. So tomorrow we're going to work on the shape. And if you have any other requests or questions, or you would like to continue, because with relationships, that was an introduction, although I did put a lot of materials into that, might be overwhelming. Let me know specific topics you are interested in or specific techniques. I thank you very much, and I see you soon. Bye. Namaste.